Hello students, welcome to Learning Management System. The program is BSc Language English 4th semester, session 8, the chapter 3, World in the War. And the topic in this session we are going to deal with the topic note on author and as well as the pre-reading. And we are going to talk a lot about the pets and the human beings, how both are related. And the created by, say, I am Ravi Kumar, a assistant professor, government either Department of English, Government First Aid College, Yelahanka, and as well as created by myself and Suresh SB. And this is Gerald Durrell, 1925 to 1995. Here is his quotation: "How to preserve, and what is the necessity of preserving the animals, wild animals, as well as not only pets and animals in the world." And it can be done by the human beings only. So Gerald Durrell, 1925 to 1995, a note on the author, Gerald Malcolm Durrell was a British naturalist, writer, zookeeper, conservationist, and television presenter. He founded the Durrell Wildlife Conservation Trust and the Jersey Zoo on the Channel Island of Jersey in 1959. He wrote around 40 books, mainly about his life as an animal collector and enthusiast about the pets, about the animals. The most famous being My Family and the Animals is most famous of his writings. He was the youngest brother of novelist Lawrence Durrell. And coming back to Gerald. Durrell's books have a loose style which pokes fun at himself, as well as those around him. The current extract is from one of his best-known works, Family and Other Animals, 1956, which tells of his idyllic childhood on Corfu. Here is the world in the wall. The conservationist, one who manages natural habitats, including forest, wildlife, rangeland. These people called conservation scientists, these green lovers involved in finding each and everything which is natural and find ways to know about the wildlife to safeguard which harming the environment. The present story is also about a naturalist who attempts to know about his environment, keenly observing a crumbling wall and his encounters with the scorpions. Family takes us to our own childhood. See, in this text, it takes us how to safeguard. He's first in since the first and foremost, he is enthusiastic about the animals, the little animals and wild animals and wide range. So since early age itself, he developed a kind of a curiosity about the animals. And in this chapter, we are going to discuss about his encounter with the scorpion family and as well as his family. Okay, World in the Wall, pre-reading. And here we have some beautiful questions which pokes and it takes us to our experiences in with the family. What have your interests been when you were a child? Okay, when you were a child, what was your interests? Okay, have you ever had pets at home? Pets in the sense dogs. Here is all pets, the world of pets, which can be uh, kept in our homes. Have you ever had pets at home? How did your parents and other family members like or dislike the pets? The question is whether you are okay, you and your family friends, that the liking, their likes and dislikes about the pets. Coming to the pets, the history of pets is intertwined with the process of animal domestication. While a pet is generally kept for the happiness that it can give to its owner, often, especially with horses, dogs, and cats, as well as with some other animals. This pleasure appears to be mutual. Thus, pet keeping can be described as a cooperative relationship, one that benefits both animals and the human beings. As the keeping of pets has been practiced from prehistoric times to the present, and as pets are found in nearly every culture and society. Pet keeping apparently satisfies a deep universal human need. Hutch, cage pets can be kept indoors or outdoors under protected conditions. So these pets include rabbits, pigs, rats, mice, hamsters, gabbles, and several kinds of insects are also kept as pets. The dog, the first domesticated species, was also the first pet eventually. The working relationship developed between the dogs and the human captors. The dog was swifter, had stronger jaws, and was better at tracking prey. Therefore, it could be of great use in hunting and guarding duties from human beings. From human beings, on the other hand, the dogs were assured of a constant supply of food as well as warmth from the fire. There is indirect evidence that the dog may have been domesticated and kept as a pet since Paleolithic times, as can be presumed from the paintings and carvings that archaeologists have found in ancient campsites and tombs. Domestic pets were often depicted in the scenes of family life in ancient Egypt. Hunting dogs of the greyhound or Saluki type accompany their master to the chase, and the lap dogs frequently sit under the chair under their master and mistresses. So this greyhound and Saluki are type of dogs. They are famous for hunting and chasing and all. These lap dogs, some of the dogs which are always with on us or under the chairs and everywhere in the home. That takes rest, and it's a great pet dog. Next to the dog, horses and cats are animals most intimately associated with the human beings. Surprisingly, both these animals grew domesticated rather late in human history. There is no evidence that horses were domesticated in Paleolithic or Mesolithic times, but by about 2000 BCE, horses used in chariot battles throughout the Middle East. The cat too does not seem to have been domesticated as a pet until the New Kingdom period, about the 16th century BC in Egypt. This is all the most strange, as the ancient Egyptians had tamed many types of animals such as lions, hyenas, monkeys, but once cats were finally domesticated, their popularity was enormous. Gradually, the cat attached to the home and started to be with the human beings. Most people used to own one or more animals as pets in their houses. These people thought that animals have proved that they are more friendly and loyal to them than humans. As usual, we notice that people trend to own dogs, cats, birds, or fish as pets at home, while there are some people who prefer to be different from others, then tend to obtain the most dangerous animals and keep them as pets. Does it sound normal to keep dangerous animals at home? Of course. You are wondering about this idea, but this happens if you feel curious about this crazy idea. So you have to read this topic. Here in this topic, we have scorpions as pets. Some people get this risk to keep scorpions as pets at home. You can find others who put these scorpions in their mouths almost, although they know that they are extremely dangerous animals. Scorpions have the ability to sting, so you should be careful when dealing with them, as their enormous sting may lead to death. This is the dangerous thing about the scorpions. And the except from the chapter on scorpions in Darrell's My Family and other animals, appropriately titled The World in a Wall, it tells the story of young Darrell scraping part of plaster of a part of the plaster of the wall to discover a family of scorpions scurrying from his cage. Darrell is fascinated and entranced with a family of scorpion. Here is the title: Darrell in a Curfew, and it's a family, their family as well as their pets and the domestic animals. It is easy to see how Gerald Darrell time on curfew influenced his later efforts in zookeeping. He revolutionized how animals were kept in a captivity, specifically promoting habitats for captive animals that mimic their natural habitats as closely as possible, something that occupies much of Jay's time throughout the novel and is now an extremely common practice. And here we have this reference section. That's all from the desk. Thank you and bye bye.